Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap in Review, I'm having an adult beverage, and tonight I'll be discussing Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tuli. I have this beautiful fairy loot edition, but I did get an electronic version from my local library through the Libby app. Of course, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. Here are the highlights and the content warnings. And my rating for this book is a 4.25, so what's it about? So this book is about Poet Graves, who lives in New Manhattan, one of the last places of safety for humans as long as they follow the rules. But as the daughter of a scion, one of the leaders of the four houses, there's a different set of expectations on top of those rules, and her future has been decided. She is to attend Amory Academy, pledge to her family's house, pass all the trials, and when she graduates, become a society wife to a man of her father's choosing, all to secure his position, and deviation is not an option. Now, when she gets to Amory, she knew it would be hard as they'd be testing her loyalties, and her abilities, all in an effort to expose weaknesses, but it is so much harder than she expected, especially as she's trying to keep hidden a secret that, if it were exposed, would cost her life. But surprisingly, the person that is helping her to survive this school and its trials is an outsider she was always taught to fear, but she can't help being drawn to. But if she ends up choosing him, it could cost her not just her future, but her freedom if he were to ever discover her secret. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 4.25. Now, I do think this is a solid book, but I have read a lot of dystopian and YA books recently, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm burnt out on those genres, because for me, this book just didn't wow me. Again, it's a solid book, but I did find it to be a bit predictable and very reminiscent of a lot of YA dystopian books I've read, especially Divergent, which is used as a comparison in the marketing. But I found the world and the storm aspect to be very interesting, and I think the author did a great job building those out. Now, when it came to the book, I do think the last couple chapters were my favorite because of all the reveals that, while predictable, were written in such a way that were entertaining and makes me curious to see those fully resolved. Now, when it comes to our characters, we first have Poet, our female main character, who I'd like. She is smart, brave, and loyal, but just like the author describes her, very naive. Like, there is nothing wrong with that, but there were several times where I was shocked by something that she was shocked by when she knew this would happen, and then it actually happened. And I think that's because she's judging things based on her standards rather than the standards of the society she grew up in. Like, she would never cut someone off, but then when she knew this would happen and saw it happen to other people, and then it happened to her, where people, including her parents, cut her off when she moved to a new house or pledged to a new house, and then people in that house were distrustful and mean to her. Like, she is surprised by all of that when she had seen it happen to other people, and then it happened to her. Now, when it comes to Rook, our male main character, he is the typical mysterious outsider who is always there when Poet needs someone. And while I liked him, I will say it was obvious, at least to me from the start, that he had an ulterior motive. But I enjoyed the progression between him and Poet as they worked to earn each other's trust and progressed into something more. Overall, again, this is a solid book, and I do think a lot of readers are going to enjoy it, especially ones who maybe haven't binged on this genre or are just entering the genre, especially those in the mid to upper YAs who I think this book is being marketed to. Again, a solid book, and I probably will read the next one as I'm curious to see how some of these reveals play out. Now, this book is currently available. I hope you give it a try, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.